So I wanted to quickly share something with you folks. It's been a while since I've done a video when I'm shopping at my local Costco. But it's very important for people with autoimmune disease to make sure you're eating as healthy as possible. But there are some foods that's going to help you fight bacteria and viruses in the body. A person with autoimmune, especially things like lupus, when your immune system attacks its own body. I have lupus and MS, and I've been able to hold it off simply by eating fairly healthy, but I'm about to take it up another notch. We've got to be able to fight viruses and bacteria. When a person with lupus get virus or bacteria, whether it's in the gums, whether it's in the body, no matter where it's at, instead of your white blood cells increasing to fight it, your body turns on itself. And that bacteria is going to eat at one place first. You know what that is? You want to know what that is? It's your bones. And we know when it comes to dental, it gets deep into the bones. And when you have very little bone mass, the body will start to push your teeth completely out. Well, lupus is not a friend of anyone. Any autoimmune disease is not. But for the most part, let me share something with you. Of course, you see there are some red onions there. I've been a big fan of onions for over 40 plus years. We grew up on onions, onion soup, onion drink, onion mixes, onions, what I call concoctions. When we grew up in Mississippi back in the 60s and 70s. A lot of people don't like broccoli because they think it's a hybrid. I tell people to each his own. Lots of spinach. Of course, these are things that I'm not growing in my garden right now. Always grab more garlic. Yams. Let me tell you about yams, sweet potatoes to be exact. Check this out. How many of you know that yams are good for people with autoimmune disease? Yams are anti-inflammatory, number one. Number two, they're low in glycemic, so the sugar index is really low on them. They're very healthy, but here's the key. Anyone who's looking to get their gut checked, or you may be having gut problems, guess what yams do? Yams take care of your gut. I want you to go and do your research and read more about it. I love my yams, and you need to eat them on a daily basis. So don't be afraid of buying 3, 4, 5 bags of yams. If you grow them in your garden, which we will start growing them next year, 2023, so we can have a huge supply of them. The bottom line is that they last a long time. Put them in a cool, dark room. You don't have to worry about them sprouting. Okay? And anytime you feel like you need more yams, do yourself a favor. Let one bag go to sprout. Take those sprouts off, or what they call shoots, put them in the ground. If you don't want to do that, throw the whole yam in the ground. I've showed you folks that on my channel before. Yams is good for people with autoimmune disease. If you don't believe me, you haven't done your research. Now here's another thing, mushrooms. We eat a ton of mushrooms in my home. Mushroom is very healthy. Now, let me tell you something about this. I'm going to be introducing you folks to a kit and a specific company. So we're going to start growing mushrooms right in our own home. You didn't know you can do that? Yeah, you can. Well, here's the kicker. I've been doing it for quite some time, but we need to double what we grow because we go through a lot more. Mushrooms are great, but there are some that, well, I don't grow. And I like the ones that I find, like the chanterelles. Find them out in the deep forest in the high mountains. I love finding them, and they're so delicious. Avocados, very, very good for you. These omegas are what you need. We're going to take our trees and we're going to be putting them in the ground, from the containers to the ground, come spring of 2023. That way, we don't have to ever shop for them again. If they're out of season, we're not going to consume them. We don't consume any foods that are out of season. Think about that for a second. If you are consuming foods that are out of season, that means that they're coming 2,000 to 3,000 miles, if not farther. That's where you're getting them from. Think about that. All in all, get some understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing. And in all thy getting, get understanding. That's what we're instructed to do. And I'm going to give it to you. Unadulterated transparency. Elder Yehuda loves you, and you better believe it.